Hello and welcome to IABM TV. Today I'm delighted to be joined by McDonough, CEO at Blackbird PLC. Ian, welcome to IABM TV.
Hi Ben, great to be here, thank you.
So Ian, how is Blackbird dealing with the current COVID and ensuing situation?
Well, it's been quite an interesting time for us. For as much as you can be designed for a crisis, I guess Blackbird has been. We've seen a huge spike in profile, a huge spike in interest for Blackbird, and a lot of success in actually deploying. So we're one of those solutions that is, we're a remote solution. We allow people to work from the safety and comfort of their homes. We're very easy to deploy. We've been deploying through virtual machines and through public cloud. Very low intensity on infrastructure, and by that I mean you can use any laptop, and you can use bandwidth of just take 2 megabits. So it's really low intensity on that side of things. So it's led to a lot of I say high profile and interest and success in recent weeks.
So can you tell us, Ian, about some of your key contract wins?
I mean, I can do. Since the crisis started, one of our biggest customers from last year was A&E Networks out of New York. They had to evacuate all of their buildings in Stamford, Connecticut, and New York at the beginning of the crisis, and they doubled their capacity with Blackbird. So they had their entire editing teams working from safety of their own homes. That was just back in the middle of March, and since then we've had 2 Premier League teams, Arsenal and Liverpool. Actually, with huge fan bases around the world that they had to keep satisfied with new content. They've been able to repurpose centrally stored archive content and create new exciting clips for social, for broadcast, and for the OTT platforms. Both those teams have more than 80 million fans around the world each. And then more recently, we've brought on Whisper as a customer. Whisper are again they're using us remotely. This time for file-based content to begin with around Formula One, and then just this morning we just announced a new deal with Riot Games out of Los Angeles, and Riot will be using us very much in the live field. So they'll be conducting esports tournaments on pretty much every weekend for the rest of the year, using Blackbird technology to turn around clips inside a broadcast channel and also to turn around long form highlights to social. So yeah, it's been a very much an exciting time for the business, I have to say.
Excellent. So Ian, it sounds like you've got quite a diverse range of customers. What is the core strategy of Blackbird?
Well, we have a very versatile tool. Firstly, so we have customers very much in the video space, but in entertainment, in sport, and by that we mean all types of sports. It could be live sports, file-based sport, or esports. And then we have a lot of news customers. So what we've seen in the last few weeks has been a big spike in terms of news content and interest in news. So we have a global audience. We have a global customer base. But the key thing for us in terms of strategy is moving from what we were in terms of a small project-based solution to production houses and post houses in the Soho area, much more into an industrialized tool where we're used every single day by customers all over the world, for live sports, finishing tool, and fast turnaround, etc. Where we're moving to is very much into an OEM space. So we've just done recently an integration with Zixi, and we're talking to quite a few customers that will now be able to take Zixi protocols straight into Blackbird and edit it in the cloud. And we're in advanced conversations with a number of other OEMs, including large telcos and service providers around the world, to integrate seamlessly Blackbird into their solution so that their customers can add that edit function into the services that have been provided elsewhere.
Excellent. That's all great to hear. So obviously, with making it so easy for people to remote work and remote edit and for remote production, must be a lot of environmental and sustainability impact with that. So can you tell us how Blackbird is working in these areas?
Sure. I mean, the whole ethos of the business is really around giving end users and companies freedom from having to work in particular locations or having to be tied to proprietary hardware or systems. And so around that, the sustainability is a natural offshoot. We're very light on resource that we need from other places. And there's three main areas that I touch on. First of all, it's travel. So because you can work remotely, you don't have to put any extra burden on public transport here, and of course at the moment in this particular period, but air travel or any kind of other travel. You don't need any particular hardware, so there's no energy expended on developing bespoke hardware, and that could be including storage systems, because we're very light on that as well. And then finally, really in terms of energy around bandwidth and moving content around, because we're only really ever moving the Blackbird codec, which is very light and very efficient, you are saving a lot of egress and ingress costs and heavy bandwidth energy. So that's the key areas that we save on in terms of sustainability.
Okay, well, Ian, thank you very much for joining us today.
You're very welcome. Thanks, Ben.
You can find out more about everything we've discussed with Ian today at blackbird.video.